Hello, Professor. My name is Siri Chandana. Today I will be presenting a three-part video. So in part one, I'll be discussing the history of world technology, and in part two, it's knowledge has technology, and in part three, I'll be discussing the history of exercise technology. So let's begin with the part one. Um, So, when we think about technology, I thought it would be interesting to look at it through timekeeping. In the very beginning, like people used very really simple things like the sun and shadows to tell time, and the sundials and even water clocks were considered advanced for their time because they helped people like plant farming or rituals and daily life. Later in the Middle Ages, we started seeing big mechanical clocks in church towers, and also that was a huge deal because for the first time, entire towns could follow the same schedule. And then moving to the into the Renaissance, it's industrial times. People had pocket watches and pendulum clocks. Now time was not just public, it's you could carry it with you, and that changed how people worked and traveled and lived day to day. And of course today we have super precise atomic clocks and even smartwatches that do way more than just tell me. And so something as simple as tracking time, like has gone from shadows on the ground all the way to advanced technology on your wrist. Yeah, that's it for part one. And when it comes to the part two, it's knowledge has technology. So for this part, I was thinking about how knowledge itself can be a kind of technology. So we usually think of technology as tools or machines, but it's about applying knowledge to solve problems. And one big example is when humans developing writing. That was huge because it meant knowledge didn't it just disappeared with each generation. Like people could pass it down, and they record history, and they build on what it came before. And later, during the age of enlightenment, knowledge spread in a different way. Like people started using reason and science to question the old ideas, and what that completely changed the government's education, like everyday life. Even things like the scientific method, that's not a tool you can hold it, but it's definitely a technology, like in the sense that it gives us has a system for creating a new knowledge. So in this part, I think um, of knowledge has a foundation of all technology. Like without it, we couldn't have the inventions and the breakouts we rely on today. So that's it for part two. And when it comes to the part three, the history of exercise technology. So when we think about exercise technology, it's easy to choose today's fancy treadmills or smartwatches. But honestly, um, the history goes way back, and what counted as cutting edge. Like um, it was very different depending on the time. When it comes to the ancient times, the people didn't have the machines, so they used what they had actually. Like the Greek lifted stones and logs, and these are early dumbbells like weights called halters, like this. And for them, it was high tech strength training. And by the 1800s, things started getting a little more recognizable, like barbells and gymnastic rings, like parallel bars. It's become really very popular. It was the start of organized fitness, not just training for wars. It is for survival actually. But when it comes to the exercises for health and performance, when we see in the early 20th century, we saw more structured equipments like a pulley system and medicine balls and standardized barbells came into the play, and schools and the military started using physical training more formally. And so this fitness technology was not just for athletes anymore. It was becoming a part of everyday life for everyone. And when we see the by the 1950s to 1970s, the culture of fitness it's really exploded because um, the few scientists was inventing the resistance machines that honestly look these machines that honestly look it a lot like uh, what what you see in the gyms today, uh, and the bodybuilding gyms were fully of benches, barbells, and dumbbells. And the idea of working out of experience, not it's just a function. It's seriously, it's became mainstream. And moving into the 70s and 80s, that's when commercial gyms and aerobics it's really took off, like treadmills and stationary bikes and yeah, these kind of few machines become the hot new thing. And the people wanted variety, and suddenly exercises uh, was for everyone. It's not just for athletes. Earlier we discussed about this. And in the 1990s and early 2000, we got a mix of like group fitness and a few machines. Let's think like step aerobics, spin bikes, and ellipticals, and even home workout videos. Gyms became full service centers with cardio sessions like free weights and group classes. And when we observe from 2000 to 2010, the things started going digital, like heart rate monitors and early apps. And we can also observe a few um, home equipment like Pilates, reformers, gain like the these are the few equipments or gained popularity. Fitness becomes more personalized and tech driven. And now, from 2010 to today, the exercise technology has gone smart. We have got Peloton bikes, like wearable trackers and apps that guide workouts, even AI powered coaching. Um, we are experiencing these. But what's funny is that, like, at the same time, people are also going back to basics like kettlebells and resistant bands and even just body weight training. It shows that sometimes the oldest and the simplest technology is still the most it's still the most effective one. So when we look at the timeline, it's kind of cool, from lifting rocks in ancient Greece to like working out with apps in your living room today. There is a huge change because the technology keeps changing, but the goal is the same, like to move better, to get stronger and stay healthy. This is the only thing we are maintaining. There are so many changes from ancient to today, but the only goal is to move better. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.